It's time to clear your air, and this is how you do it. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out this. This is the DREO Macro Pro True HEPA air purifier, and it's really nice. It actually has a lot of smarts that these devices don't tend to have. Most importantly, you see that show up in its ability to figure out when you need to replace the filter based on actual usage and based on actual air quality. Now, I'm going to talk about it, but let's start by just turning it on. And notice there's a light in the front, and that light will start to change colors because it's assessing current air quality, and that's how it's deciding what level of fan to be using to clear and purify my air. Now, it's a 3-stage, 360-degree filtration system. This entire part down here is air intake. I can feel that. And then there's air output on the top. And here's my little thing so you can get a sense of airflow. It has 3 different speeds, plus night mode, plus an automatic mode, which will step between them based on, again, how clean your air is. It's a medical grade H13 True HEPA filter. I think I just turned it off. All the touch controls are on the top. In fact, let's just jump to that and I'll talk you through all of the different buttons. Going clockwise, you have the sleep mode, you have automatic, you have 3 different fan speeds, you have power on and off, and then on the other side, you have the turbo to get the fan at its maximum possible speed. There's a timer that lets you set 2-hour, 4-hour, or 8-hour delayed turn off. There's a lock if you don't want your kids to touch it, or people like me to touch it. And finally, that last button indicates that you need to reset your filter, which generally means you need to replace your filter. So all of that's documented in the handy little book that comes with it. But what I want to do is I want to actually show you some of the features of it because it's pretty cool. So first off, there's a little thing in the back here, and this opens up if you need to. I'm not sure why you ever would, but this is where the air quality sensor is located. So in fact, you probably never need to do anything with it. And then we can flip it upside down. I'm going to unplug it for this particular task. And it does come with a power cable, and that is not like a micro USB or anything like that. It's just a sort of classic power adapter. And you just plug it into here. It is an Energy Star certified device. I'll come back to that. On the top, you just rotate it open or closed. And it's this easy to pull out the filter. Here's these filters, and it's a very nice looking filter. Don't know if you really care, but it's an H13 True HEPA filter, which means that it is a 99.97% filtration of particulate matter down to 0.3 microns. This is going to do a great job of getting dander and dust and floating hair and all sorts of stuff out of your environment. My house is really dusty. I don't know why. I'm not living near a construction zone or anything, but it's just endlessly dusty. And I have multiple cats, so there's lots of dander. So this sort of device is really great, which leads to the question, all right, how long do these filters last and how much does it cost to replace one? So it is a smart filter life algorithm that they have, but they say generally speaking 6 to 8 months per filter. But if you have an already clean environment, then it's going to actually last longer, and that light won't come on until you actually need to replace your filter, which is great because so many of these, they either never tell you or it's just time, right? Oh, 3 months have passed, the light goes on and you need to spend more money. So each filter is $29.99, not that bad if you think about maybe getting 2 or 3 across a couple of year time span. And honestly, how much is it worth for you to have better air quality, right? So I'm gonna plug it back in, and that's just right there on the bottom, and it's ready to go. Let's power it on, and it is on. That's how quiet it is I can't even tell. So its speeds, there's all the different speeds. It's at its minimum quiet, it's 20 decibels, like right now. It's on. I can feel some air being pushed out, but it's mighty quiet. So let me just sort of use this again to show you that The airflow is pretty minimal. There's still a little bit of movement there, but not much. So let's go to, let's see, where's the speed? It's over here. So that's on the slowest of the manual speeds. Well, no, maybe that's the fastest of them. It's really hard to do all this backwards and upside down. So now I'm going to switch speeds. You see that's less airflow. I'm going to switch it again. And that gets down to, well, I guess that goes back to the higher airflow. And let's put it on turbo. All right, so turbo is the maximum possible airflow. If you have a uncle who just smoked a cigar, or you have a dog that has flatulence, then this is the setting you want to do. And you can see it's pushing out a lot of air. In fact, let me go back to night mode. Now listen. So it's still running. There's still a little air moving through it, but it's really minimal. So if you want to have this running at night while you're sleeping, or your baby's sleeping because it's in the baby's room, that's exactly what this mode is for. And then when you wake up again, you just push automatic, and it'll just decide based on air quality how much air it needs to push through. So how fast and how much air does it push through? This can completely filter all the air in a 100 square foot bedroom, it's typical kid's room or something, in 4.4 minutes. 180 square feet will take less than 8 minutes. And if you have a big 300 square foot living room, dining room, kitchen area or something, and 300 square feet is a pretty decent sized room, in 13.2 minutes, it will actually go through and replace and filter all of that air. That's pretty nice. Now, as I said earlier, it is Energy Star certified. They say that it will use less power in a week in automatic mode in a typical house than a light bulb. So, you know, you look at one of these things and you think, well, that's going to be really nice. It probably would be great for a dorm room or something, but we can't afford all that power. I mean, a dorm room you can, but that's another story. You know, but in your little apartment or something, you can't afford to have this plugged in because it's going to consume a lot of power, right? Wrong. So this is incredibly energy efficient. And a lot of that is because in automatic mode, like it is right now, it's basically doing nothing. It doesn't need any power because it's finding the air quality to be good enough that it only needs to do minimum filtration right now. Now, if you open up all your windows and you live in a dirty environment, and dirty might be air pollution, it might be construction dust, it might be cars driving by, there's a lot of things that affect our air quality. But as soon as you open your windows, this is going to be working harder. Because unfortunately, while it used to be the case that our outside air was generally better than our inside air because of things like volatile organic compounds and such, I don't know that that's true for most people anymore. If you live way out in the country or way up in the mountains, maybe. But if you're in a suburban or urban environment, your indoor air, especially if you have something like this running, is probably going to be considerably better than your outside air, which is, I guess, just modern times. So that's everything I've got about it. I really like this unit. I'm actually giving this to my son. He has a lot of dander allergies, and he's going to use this in his apartment, and it's going to really help him get better air quality, which is going to help him with his breathing and his lung health. And he's going to get better sleep, if nothing else. He's going to get better sleep just simply by having this in his apartment. What a win that is. So dimensions wise, it is 15 inches tall by 10 inches around. It is 7.3 pounds, so it's not super light. This is not something you're going to move from room to room with you. Just set it up somewhere, put it on automatic, and just let it do its thing, and you won't have to think about it. You'll just have better air quality. How cool is that? All right, now, we do need to talk about the price, but before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel, a click or a tap on that subscribe button, and we're connected. Great. This is the DREO Macro Pro True HEPA Air Purifier, and it's $149.99 at DREO.com. The replacement air filters are $29.99. You're going to have to use one of those about every 6 to 8 months, plus or minus, depending on your existing air quality. So that's all I got. I'm going to put this back on turbo and let you see the airflow. And that's all I got. So I'll have to catch you in my next video.